I'm Cindy Costales, Senior Librarian at the Monterey Park Bruggemeyer Library, and I'm here today with Margot Eiser. Margot is a longtime library supporter, and she's been involved with a very interesting project. Oh, and I also have to mention that you are a Kiwanis Club member with the Monterey Park. You've been doing that for a while, too. So she's very involved with her community. And just recently, she attended the San Gabriel Mountains Forever Academy. And I'd like her to talk a little bit about that. And she's also created a wonderful display here at the library about preserving the San Gabriel Mountains. So Margot, tell us a little bit about the Academy, why you got started, how you got involved, and maybe what are the goals?
Very good. It's called the San Gabriel Mountains Forever Leadership Academy, and it's sponsored by the San Gabriel Mountains Forever campaign, which is a coalition of environmental and other groups that are working together to get federal recognition of our San Gabriel Mountains, to turn them into a national recreation area, to protect the rivers, and to combine the services in the middle of the mountains to also coalesce the wilderness areas. So this would take grassroots efforts. I was sponsored by someone from the City Project, which is a group that works to remedy environmental injustice, to make people who are park poor cities get access to the mountains. This includes young people for the health benefits. And turns out that Monterey Park is a park poor city, so there's a natural connection. I went to the Leadership Academy. It was for a few months, twice a week, in various interesting locations. I was in the second group of people to graduate, and part of the process was learning how to write and propose a grant, for eligibility for a grant. And I was able to succeed in doing that, and then had a budget to work with. And I chose the Monterey Park Library because I noticed how centrally located it is and how many people of the Asian Pacific Island community possibly would not have had access to information about this because of the language barrier. And I wanted to focus on blending the information out in Chinese. And so through the City Project and the coalition of other groups like the Sierra Club and the Wilderness Society, they found a translator. And the Asian, there's different Asian groups. We wanted to get some Asian groups to join the coalition too. So they have worked on that, and we finally got it all together. And because of Cindy's great help and the other librarians, I was able to accomplish the goal of putting the display here.
Well, we've really enjoyed working with you, and you've created a very interesting display. Let's come up and take a look at it. You have it broken down into several areas, and you say how Monterey Park is connected to the San Gabriel Mountains, and you have the past, the present, and the future history with that. And so I thought maybe you could tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I decided to, because I used to live in Monterey Park when I was little, and we would always see the mountains. And so I decided that I would look backwards and see how closely it is connected to the mountains. When you look at the pictures of the books showing that people were exploring the mountains, and there were many different historical events that happened there, and that the wildlife and everything is still viable, but you can see how it's just looking out to the northeast, you see the mountains, and it's just such a part of our city that I went to the Historical Society and got some wonderful pictures showing the mountains and how predominant they are.
You're so right. You know, every day we get to see the beauty of the mountains living in the San Gabriel Valley, and a lot of these pictures have captured that.
I was fortunate enough to have David Ma of the Monterey Park Kiwanis Club do the translation of the internal, and I wanted to say that the librarians did help with the announcement for the event and had it done for that would be the present moment, and it was a beautiful announcement that was put in the library and handed out at various venues. So I want to thank the librarians for that.
Well, let's take a look over here, and you have the present and the future. So what can you tell us about that?
Well, the present moment, the mountains are being used by millions of people in the San Gabriel Valley as a backyard recreation area, and that is why there needs to be a plan for management. So I hiked through the library, and I found wonderful books that showed the flora and fauna of the San Gabriel Mountains, and books about hiking and mountain biking in the mountains. And I thought, well, this is really a place where people, even if they can't get up there, could actually find out about the mountains. A library is a wonderful place. I put my own personal bird book in there because you look at birds in the mountains. And you can see pictures in there. You could come and see the pictures in there about how the mountains are from the ocean to the mountains. We have a wonderful, wonderful resource here. And the mountains are a really good source. Nature is a really good source of health for people, children and older people. And that is part of the present. They're getting it. And that's why we wanted to stress that they can, even though they're there, they need to be more accessible. And we want to coordinate bus transport and other ways for people to get there to make it easier to get there.
I know that several people who have seen the exhibit have mentioned that they do go up to the mountains and enjoy hiking. So you did you captured something that everybody likes.
Oh, good, good.
Now, what can you tell us about the future?
Okay, let's move a little tiny bit over. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, the future suggests that these mountains are very fragile. Even though they're big and they're dominant, they need protection. And the plan for the coalition, the San Gabriel Mountains Forever campaign, is a grassroots campaign to make federally protected wilderness area expanded in there, to make the rivers also part of this, like they did with the LA River, so the accessibility and the watershed can be protected, and then to make it a national recreation area. And it's very important that we realize that already the Santa Monica Mountains have become that, and they are much more better maintained. There's a coordinated effort for the cleanliness, the safety, the pulling out of the non-native plants. And we'd like to have the same type of thing in our mountains here. And that can be done by everybody signing up and letting their federal representatives know that we must make this a priority, because so many people use it, of such a diverse background here in the San Gabriel Valley, that we do need to make that a priority.
Well, I know that you're just getting started with this campaign, getting involved and doing things, making the community more aware. And I know that here at the library we will have some brochures, some information that the public can pick up, thanks to you and your work. And they're available in several languages.
Yes, there was already English. Then, because there's a large outreach in Spanish-speaking areas, we have those. And then I was the one who instigated having the forms filled out in Chinese. And we will have them available here in the library, in the media room, the glass room, and then I'm handing it about at the farmers market. Occasionally, we will have a sign-up sheet there, too. And then I just found out that San Gabriel Mountains Forever campaign will be participating in this year's Earth Day event from Monterey Park. And we will have a booth there, and we will have people sign up, and this will be the first year there'll be information in Chinese, too. My project was like a pilot project so that it could be used at other venues. And I wanted to say that we do thank the Monterey Park City Council and the Environmental Commission, headed by Thomas Wong, for supporting and endorsing this project. And we also thank Judy Chu for being a longtime supporter of this. So we want to make sure that you thank her and the Monterey Park City Council. And then if there's a new representative or other people, you can send the information. We want to send them to say, do it soon, get this protected.
Well, thank you, Margot. We appreciate what you're doing and the donation. We want to thank you. It'll help us with programs and services here at the library. Now, how can people find out more about the San Gabriel Mountains Forever?
It's very simple. It's www.sangabrielmountains.org. And that will give you information about the coalition and about the campaign and how you can participate.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome.